Hello everyone, and welcome back to Skyrim. We find ourselves here in the Riften jail, somewhat unfairly. I don't believe I deserved to be thrown into jail based on what transpired, but that's the life of Skyrim. It's a rough place and a very rough city. So, I think we have to serve our jail time here, and then hopefully we can be on our way after we've served our time. We could be on our way to find this Arcwind Point and complete what we had set out to do. After we've explored Arcwind Point and gathered this bounty, we'll then go on to do the Horn of the Jurgen Windcaller, which was bestowed upon us by the this quest was bestowed upon us by the Greybeards at the throat of the world. Alright, so let's get into the RP. Ugh, this cheese. It's a little stale, but it's all I've got. I guess I might as well eat a little bit while I'm here. Some stale cheese and old bread. Ugh, gross, but I have no other choice. Prison food is not very good. I've already finished my tankard. They don't give refills here. I can't wait to get out of this place. Alright. It appears there are others here in this prison, but no use talking to them and screaming across the hall. The guards would hear me anyway. Alright, I'm just gonna go to bed and sleep it off. Finally, out of prison. Hey Lydia, thanks for waiting for me. I appreciate it. I'll try not to do that again, okay Lydia? Excuse me. The last thing I'd want to do is upset one of the guards. Since we're almost full with all of our trinkets, let's make sure we make our way to a place where we can barter our goods. Is there a place where we can barter our goods?
Buying and selling fine jewelry here.
Protect yourself right. Buy armor from Grelka.
Armor?
Fresh meats and produce. Get them before they're gone.
Meats and produce. It's a stall.
Never done an honest day's work in your life for all that coin you carry, hey lad?
Excuse me? I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm saying you've got the coin, but you didn't earn a septim of it honestly. I can tell.
How I've made my living is none of your business, Brynjolf.
Oh, but that's where you're wrong, lad. Wealth is my business. Maybe you'd like a taste.
A taste? Huh. I doubt it. But what do you have in mind? Might as well hear you out.
I've got a bit of an errand to perform, but I need an extra pair of hands. And in my line of work, extra hands are well paid.
Stay alive? Why take a chance?
Huh. What do you mean? Be more specific.
Simple. I'm going to cause a distraction. You're gonna steal Medesi's silver ring from a strongbox under his stand. Once you have it, I want you to place it in Branche's pocket without him noticing.
So you want me to steal some jewelry and then plant it on this Branche? But that's not something I normally do. I don't normally just break the law like that. Are you joking?
Sorry. I usually have a nose for this kind of thing. Never mind then, lad. If you change your mind, come find me.
Looking to stay alive?
Not interested, Brynjolf. Lydia. Yeah, let's get away from all of these people. Lydia. I don't think this is the kind of thing that we normally do. I mean, you know me. I don't usually... The Cowl of Nocturnal. Search the thief's body? What? What? What the hell? It's rumored that the Grey Fox is buried in the cemetery in Riften. If so, he may have been buried with his cowl. At the cemetery, I found a thief loitering near a tombstone. Okay, that was random. I don't know why that came up out of nowhere. Anyway, back to the RP. Lydia, you know me. I don't normally, you know, steal things, even when I think I can get away with it. So, as the man said, we're gonna try to make an honest living. If we can. That doesn't mean we're gonna shy away from murder. Sometimes murder is within the law, such as this bounty that we're after. At least, it's a sanctioned bounty, and not random killing. Anyway, is this a place where we can barter our goods? Come on, Lydia, we have things to sell. Good evening. How are you today? Excuse me, I need some help. I'd like to sell. Hello? Miss? Hello? What the hell? Lydia, should we follow her down there? Hello, miss. I'm looking to barter. Hello? I'm sorry to come in. Didn't want to startle you, but I'm just letting you know. Hello? Where did she go? Lydia, she's disappeared. Where did she go? I swear I saw her come down here. Am I losing my mind? What the? Move out the way. What the hell? What? Am I insane? Where did that lady go? Okay, something is wrong. What the fuck? What? Oh my god, she's laying in bed. How did I not see her that whole time? Jesus Christ, sorry guys. I think my first reaction is to cut that part of the video out, but screw it. I'll keep it in. All right, let's go.
You don't look so good. Are you feeling all right?
Oh, do I look sick? I might have to pray.
My husband Bearsea will be the death of me. Oh, he spends too much time worrying about Riften and not enough about himself.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll let you get your rest. I'm sorry to have bothered you. I was looking to sell my goods, and I'll leave this place. Well, come on, Lydia. We probably shouldn't stay in there. We'll have to come back tomorrow morning. But, in the meantime, there's the Blackbriar Meadery. We should probably use this inn here. Get some rest.
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
People of Riften, heed my words. The return of the dragons is not mere coincidence. This is one of the signs that Lady Mara is displeased with your constant inebriation. Put down your flagons filled with your vile liquids, and embrace the teachings of the Handmaiden of Kine.
Oh, goodness.
No, Marama. We talked about this. Talon?
Kirava, certainly we can come to some sort of an understanding.
Shut him
These
up.
people must be made aware of the chaos they've sown.
Enough, Marama. We've all heard of the dragons and their return. There's no need to use them as an excuse to harass our customers.
Indeed.
Very well, Talon. I'll remove myself from this den of iniquity.
We're not kicking you out. Just keep the sermons at the temple and let us all sin in peace.
The temple. So apparently there's a temple nearby. Excuse me.
Blessings of Mara upon you.
Well, Can you tell me more about Mara's beliefs? I know that many people didn't want to listen, but I'm curious.
Mara's domain encompasses the emotions we strive the most to embrace: love, compassion, and understanding. It's difficult to appreciate her gifts in these dark times, but you should consider her light a beacon in the storm.
I see. I wanted to know more about the Temple of Mara. I should visit there soon.
Wonderful. Where to begin? Mara is the goddess of love. The temple spreads her gifts by tending to the sick, the poor, and the lost. We also perform wedding ceremonies for all the loving couples in Skyrim.
The goddess of love? That sounds like something I can get behind. I could have a wedding at the temple someday?
Yes, if you were ready, of course. Are you familiar with how marriage works in Skyrim?
No, not really. My mother was... well, they separated, and so I lived with my mother and my father separately, not together. And I never really asked about marriage. I don't know the formalities.
Typically, love in Skyrim is as earnest as the people who live here. Life is hard and short, so there's little room for long courtship. A person who is looking for a spouse simply wears an amulet of Mara about the neck, showing they are available. When another person shows interest and the two agree to be together, one of them comes to the temple and we arrange a ceremony.
Ah, I see. Well, do you accept charity?
Of course. I'd be more than happy to add a donation to our charity box. Right now, the best you could provide is coin. We need all the help we can get.
All right. Well, here's 5 gold. Best of luck to you. I'll visit the temple soon.
Thank you. I can promise you that this will be put to good use. May you return to her benevolence in safety.
And you as well, Maramel. I'll go to that temple soon. Because, if anything, I definitely feel like my joints are not feeling too well. I have the rock joint. I'm feeling pains in my knees. And I could use a blessing to help me. Plus, my elbows as well. It's making the swinging of my axe much more difficult. But for the moment... Hello. How are you, Kirava?
If you've got the coin, you're welcome here. Otherwise, hit the road.
Well, excuse me. I do have coin. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to rent a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Thank you, Kirava. I appreciate it.
I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Absolutely. I'll follow you, Kirava. This fire sure is warm.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Absolutely, Kirava. Thank you so much. Finally, a bed to sleep in. And I think these beds are so much more comfortable than those prison beds. But I need to take off some of my armor. I'm feeling heavy. There we go. Feel much better. Should take off the axe too. No need in carrying around the axe. Jesus. Having a room of my own? I'm sure Lydia, I paid for her to use one of the other rooms, so I'm sure she's getting in bed there.
Hey, Talon. Get off your lazy tail and take care of the customer.
Oh no.
Keep your scales on.
I'm not interested. I'm just trying to rest. Look. Excuse me.
You want a drink?
No, please. I appreciate the concern, but I just want to stay alone tonight.
If you'll excuse me, I have other things to attend to.
Absolutely. All right. Now that it's time for bed, I could probably enjoy a good book. Well, I suppose, if I want to read a good book, this seems like a good book to read before bed. Before the Ages of Man. I wonder what happened before the Ages of Man anyway. Timeline Series Volume 1, Before the Ages of Man by A Cantor of Shimmerine. Yes, this should be a good read before going to sleep for the night. Before man came to rule Tamriel, and before the chronicles of the historians recorded the affairs of the rulers of Tamriel, the events of our world are known only through myths and legends, and through the divinely inspired teachings of the 9 divines. For convenience, historians divide the distant ages of prehistory into 2 broad periods of time, the Dawn Era and the Merithic Era. The Dawn Era. The Dawn Era is that period before the beginning of mortal time, when the feats of the gods take place. The Dawn Era ends with the exodus of the gods and the magic from the world at the founding of the Adamantine Tower. That's important to remember, so anytime I ever hear the words the Dawn Era, that is the time of the gods. And it ends with the exodus of the gods from the world and the founding of the Adamantine Tower. I need to remember that. The term Merithic comes from the Nordic, literally, era of the elves. The Merithic era is the prehistoric time after the exodus of the gods and magic from the world at the founding of the Adamantine Tower, and before the arrival of Ysgramor the Nord in Tamriel. So this is the era of the elves, just after the exodus of the gods. The following are the most notable events of the Dawn Era, presented roughly in sequence as it must be understood by creatures of time such as ourselves. The cosmos formed from the Orbis, chaos or totality, by Anu and Padome. So Anu and Padome must have been the very first gods. Akatosh, Oriel, formed and time began. So I guess Akatosh or Oriel was the first god after Anu and Padme formed the cosmos. The gods Etata formed. Lorcan convinced or tricked the gods into creating the mortal plane Nirn. The mortal plane was at this point highly magical and dangerous. As the gods walked, the physical makeup of the mortal plane and even the timeless continuity of existence itself became unstable. When Magnus, architect of the planes of the mortal world, decided to terminate the project, the gods convened at the Adamantine Tower, or the Durini Tower, the oldest known structure in Tamriel, and decided what to do. Most left when magic did. Others sacrificed themselves into other forms so that they might stay, the Ilnafe. It's important to remember the Ilnafe are those that sacrifice themselves to stay. Lorcan was condemned by the gods to exile in the mortal realms, and his heart was torn out and cast from the tower, where it landed a volcano formed. With magic, in the mythic sense, gone, the cosmos stabilized. Elven history, finally linear, began at ME 2500. And so the beginning of the Merithic Era. The Merithic Era was figured by early Nord scholars as a series of years numbered in reverse order backward from their beginning of time, the founding of the Camoran dynasty, recorded as year 0 of the First Era. The prehistoric events of the Merithic Era are listed here with their traditional Nordic Merithic dates. The earliest Merithic date cited by King Harold's scholars was ME 2500, the Nordic reckoning of the first year of time. As such, the Merithic Era extends from ME 2500 in the distant past to ME 1, the year before the founding of the Camoran dynasty and the establishment of the White Gold Tower as an independent city-state. According to King Harold's bards, ME 2500 was the date of construction of the Adamantine Tower on Balfouria Island in High Rock, the oldest known structure in Tamriel, This corresponds roughly to the earliest historic events given in various published Elven chronicles. During the early Merithic era, the aboriginal beast peoples of Tamriel, the ancestors of the Khajiit, Argonian, Orcish, and other beast folk, lived in pre-literate communities throughout Tamriel. Wow, we're so far back in time that at this point we're discussing the ancestors of the Khajiit, Argonian, and Orc. In the Middle Merithic era, the Aldmeri, mortals of elven origin, refugees left their doomed and now lost continent of Aldmeris, also known as Old Ilnefe, and settled in southwestern Tamriel. The first colonies were distributed at wide intervals on islands along the entire coast of Tamriel. Later, inland settlements were founded primarily in fertile lowlands in southwest and central Tamriel. Wherever the beast folk encountered the elves, the sophisticated, literate, technologically advanced Aldmeri's culture displaced the primitive beast folk into the jungles, marshes, mountains, and wastelands. The Adamantine Tower was rediscovered and captured by the Durini, a prominent and powerful Aldmeri clan. The Crystal Tower was built on Somerset Isle and, later, White Gold Tower in Cyrodiil. During the Middle Merithic era, Aldmeri's explorers mapped the coasts of Vardenfell, building the First-era High Elf wizard towers at Old Redania, Balfell, Tel Arun, and Tel Mora in Morrowind. It was also during this period that Ayleid, wild elven settlements flourished in the jungles surrounding the White Gold Tower, present-day Cyrodiil. Wild elves, also known as the Heartland High Elves, preserved the Dawn-era magics and language of the Old Ilnefe. Ostensibly a tribute land to the High King of Alinor, the Heartland's long lines of communication from the Somerset Isles' sovereignty effectively isolated Cyrodiil from the High Kings at Crystal Tower. The late Middle Merithic era is the period of the High Velothi culture. The Chimer ancestors of the modern Dunmer, or Dark Elves, were dynamic, ambitious, long-lived elven clans devoted to fundamentalist ancestor worship. The Chimer clans followed the prophet Veloth out of the ancestral elven homelands in the southwest to settle in the lands now known as Morrowind. Despising the secular culture and profane practices of the Dwemer, the Chimer also coveted the lands and resources of the Dwemer, and for centuries provoked them with minor raids and territorial disputes. The Dwemer, or dwarves, free-thinking, reclusive elven clans devoted to the secrets of science, engineering, and alchemy established underground cities and communities in the mountain range, later the Velothi Mountains, separating modern Skyrim and Morrowind. The late Merithic era marks the precipitous decline of Velothi culture. Some Velothi settled in villages near declining and abandoned ancient Velothi towers. During this period, Velothi high culture disappeared on Vardenfell Island. The earliest Dwemer freehold colonies date from this period. Degenerate Velothi devolved into tribal cultures which, in time, evolved into the modern Great Houses of Morrowind, or persisted as the barbarian Ashlander tribes. The only surviving traces of this tribal culture are scattered Velothi towers and Ashlander nomads on Vardenfell Island. The original First-era High Elven Wizard towers along the coasts of Tamriel were also abandoned about this time. It was in the late Merithic era that the pre-literate humans, the so-called Nordic peoples, from the continent of Atmora, also Altmora, or the Elderwood, in Aldmeris, migrated and settled in northern Tamriel. The Nord culture hero Yvesgrimor, leader of the great colonizing fleet to Tamriel, is credited with developing a runic transcription of Nord speech based on Elvish principles, and so Yvesgrimor is considered the first human historian. Yvesgrimor's fleet landed at Sarek Head, at the extreme northern tip of Skyrim's Broken Cape. The Nords built there the legendary city of Sarthal. The Elves drove the men away during the Night of Tears, but Yvesgrimor soon returned with his 500 companions. Also, during the late Merithic era, the legendary immortal hero, warrior, sorcerer, and king, variously known as Pilinal Whitestrake, Harold Harry Breeks, Ysmir, Hans the Fox, etc., wandered Tamriel, gathering armies, conquering lands, ruling, then abandoning his kingdoms to wander again. Wow. Now that was a very dense and quick and short and dirty telling of history. Well, I think I've had plenty of reading for tonight. I would say I was probably reading for a full 2 hours. It's pretty late now. I need to get plenty of sleep. Let's get 8 hours. Well, I feel much better. Better get my clothes back on. Much better. Oh, good morning, Lydia. I see you're already up. Let's go. We have a few things to do. Not that direction, this way. Sure is loud for so early in the morning.
I'm really getting tired of your excuses. When you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time and for double the usual fee.
I know I did. But how was I to know the shipment would get robbed?
Next time, keep your plans quieter, and nothing would have happened to it.
What? Are you telling me you robbed it? Why? Why are you doing this to me?
Look, Chandra, last warning. Pay up or else. All I care about is the gold. Everything else is your problem.
Wow, sounds like he got stiffed. Well, I wish him the best of luck. It's unfortunate that happened to him. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully the merchant's in here.
Welcome to the Pond Prawn. Come on in, take a look around.
Ah, yes, indeed. It's nice to see you. I had some things to sell.
Welcome to the Pond Prawn. What can I do for you?
Well, I had some things to sell, but you know, I was curious. Your shop has a very unusual name.
Catchy, isn't it? In my youth, I was a fisherman. I had a beautiful ship named the Brawny Prawn. But the years have a way of creeping up on you. I ended up selling that ship to open this place. Seemed only fitting to name it after her. Well, changed it a bit, I suppose. If I had been smarter, I would have kept my boat. Coming to this city was a big mistake.
It was a mistake. What's wrong with Riften?
The question is, what isn't wrong with Riften? This city is corrupt, rotten to the core. No one cares about anything except themselves, and how much coin they can make off the misery of others.
Yeah, jeez. Well, if you're so concerned, why don't you speak to the authorities?
Authorities? Have you been listening to what I said? They're all dirty. Every one of them. The only way to get things done in this city is to keep your head down and pay off the right people.
Oh, jeez. Well, I'm really sorry you have to deal with that. But anyway, what do you have for sale?
Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
Gotcha. Well, I need to sell. There's many things I don't really need. Such as this. Alright.
Until next time.
Alright, we need to go to the smithy. There it is. We've got plenty of stuff to make out of our resources. Oh, look. I have enough to finally make a backpack. Really, I just need to pick the one that works the best for me. A fur backpack with a bedroll. Well, honestly, I think a dark leather backpack might do me well. Dark leather is sturdy. Definitely gonna use that. There we go. This backpack will help me carry a lot more, and the bedroll will be coming useful as well. Alright, that was enough. I crafted what I needed to. Is this the Temple of Mara? Absolutely, it must be. Hello. My joints are hurting. Oh, finally. I could use some time away from all the bustling crowds. Dear Lady Mara, goddess of love, please protect me. I feel so much better already. Thank you, Lady Mara, for your blessing. I'll keep you in mind every day. Excuse me. How are you, Maramel? Nice to see you. Look, I came as I promised. Thank you for letting me know about this place. But I must be going. Got other adventures to seek. Alright, well at this point, I've got a bedroll. I've got good armor. My rock joint is healed. It should be. Yep, I no longer have rock joint. I have a blessing of Mara to my healing spells, which I don't really use, but at this point, I think I'm ready to go out into the wider world. All right, Lydia, let's get out of here. It's a very busy city. The crowds. It's too much. I prefer the silence.
I don't know you. You and Riften looking for trouble?
No, I'm just passing through. What's it to you?
Don't say something you'll regret. Last thing the Blackbriars need is some loudmouth trying to meddle in their affairs.
I'm sorry, I don't know who you're talking about. Who are the Blackbriars?
The Blackbriars have Riften in their pocket and the Thieves Guild watching their back, so keep your nose out of their business. Me? I'm Maul. I watch the streets for them. If you need dirt on anything, I'm your guy. But it'll cost you.
All right. Well, I'll just stay out of your way.
Suit yourself. I'll be at the docks if you change your mind.
I had another run-in with a
Let's get out of this city. Constantly being accosted. Oh, finally. It's nice to be out. Out of this city. You know what, Lydia? Do you hear that? There's still dragons out there. I knew it! I thought I heard a dragon. Oh god, is it gonna land here? Watch out, Lydia. Get under the stables. There's a dragon out there. What the hell? Can't go anywhere without running into dragons. Hopefully it just goes its own way. Alright. It looks like it's flying away. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, look. Looks like there's some Khajiit. Hello, good sir.
Too lazy to walk, eh? Well, you found the right place.
You know, it could be very dangerous living outside the walls. I just saw a dragon.
Ah, I'm not afraid of anything out here. Walls are just a weakling's hiding spot. Not me. I'm no weakling. In fact, I bet I got the strongest arms in all of Skyrim.
Yeah, Tell that to the dragon. Having strong arms is not going to protect you from that.
Oh, sounds like I've got a challenger. Tell you what, how about a friendly wager just between us? I bet you my entire purse of septums I can beat you in a fistfight. You match the bet, and we fight until one of us gives in.
Look, I'm not interested. How about another time?
I don't blame you. If I were in your shoes, I'd chicken out too. Well, offer still stands if you ever want to have a go.
Alright, look, that's not what I'm here for. I just want to buy a horse.
Don't mind if you do. What's your price?
Well, here's my offer. 1,000 gold.
Sold. She's all yours. She's already saddled up.
Alright, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's go, Lydia. Here she is. This is our beauty. This is the beauty we'll be riding. Already much better. And I'm gonna break the fourth wall here. I would like it if Lydia could have her own horse and we could both have a horse and just ride together, but unfortunately the game doesn't support that, and I would have to download probably some kind of mod to do that. So I guess I don't like being on a horse and her running around following me. Ideally, she would have her own horse, but I guess I'll just sort of go with it and pretend that she's on a horse. Anyway, I hope that's okay with everyone. All right, let's get going. All right. This is making traveling much easier already. Let's get going. We've got a lot of distance to travel. All right. I think I've finally found a path. A path up to this Arcwind Point. At least, I sure hope so. Yes, there it is. But let's see what's here. Draugr, potions, brief invisibility. That might be helpful. All right, come on, Lydia. I'm gonna leave my horse here. I don't want it to get in any danger. I know where it's at. It's outside of Arcwind Point. But let's make our way further in. That shout has really come in handy. I want to make sure I keep using that call, that animal shout that I have. Animal allegiance. It's incredibly helpful. It saved me countless times. Look at this place. It's a very old ruin. I wonder how long it's been here. Look, another ruin. These ruins have been buried by the snows of the mountains. I'm sure there's many dead in there. But we have to keep going. I believe Arcwind Point is still ahead. Look, another ruin. And you know what? I see a word wall. What do you think, Lydia? Do you want to take a detour before we make it our way up to Arcwind Point? Let's make a slight detour. Let's go down this way. It could get dangerous, but... Oh wait, this is Arcwind Point. Look at this place. Ready yourselves. Oh god, it's a frost dragon! I didn't even hear it. Where'd it go? Oh, shit. Die, you damn dragon. Alright, come on, let's get behind something. I'm coming, Lydia. Alright, I'm gonna need... Alright, he's down. Where's that dragon? There he is. Stay behind a pillar, Lydia. Ugh. Frost doesn't hurt a Nord. Crap. Fuck. Yeah, I know. It's freezing cold. How am I ever going to defeat this thing? Gotcha. Die, you damn dragon. We got him. Good job, Lydia. It wasn't easy. I've absorbed its soul. I can feel it. Oh yes, its soul is now mine. Look at these pillars. They're scorched with fire everywhere. We had to use them for cover. It took a very long time, but we finally defeated him. And it wasn't easy, having a Draugr overlord come at me as well. I think we finally earned this word wall. Stamina drain. Understood. Well, I have a new ability with Lydia. Should I desire to use dragon energy on it, I could drain the stamina out of many. But this is where we need to go. Up these steps to Arcwind Point. Be careful, Lydia. There's a trap here. No telling what it does. I heard something. Oh, God. Damn, he's strong. Die, you damn Draugr. And I've got another one firing at me. Forsworn. What are you doing here? Missed.
Show me what you got.
Die down there. Have we finally found their lair? Don't worry, Lydia. He's dropped down below. Ah, damn it. What is this strange armor? I've never seen anything like it. It's made out of strange materials. Interesting. I'll take this helmet as a souvenir. Ugh. So you're Crowstooth. You're the one everyone's been after. Oh shit. She is strong. Die, you damn. Alright, I've finally killed her. I think she's the leader of these Forsworn. I'd hate to use her bow, but it is much stronger than my own, and I'd be a dummy not to take it. And that axe, the Tyrant's Bane, deals a lot of damage. I'll take both. I think they're worth it. This axe, it'll serve me well. Alright, now that I've killed her, Crowstooth is now dead. Let's search this tower. See what she was hiding here, if anything. Well, maybe some of her belongings were here. Amber. Wow, an incredibly rare substance. Don't get to see that very often. Bjormund Windstrider. Who is this man? Why is he here? And what is this? A book? An amulet of Akatosh. Wow. Dragon bone mail. Dragon plate boots. Gauntlets of dragon. Wow. Incredible. I must take his diary as well. This armor is far better than anything I could ever hope to be wearing at the moment. I have to put it on. Wow. Holy shit. Look at that, Lydia. What do you think about this armor? This armor is literally made out of dragon bone. How fortunate am I to have found such a thing? Well, all of the trouble that I went through to get here is definitely worth it. Let's read his journal. Bjormund's diary. I remember the first time Mishara showed me the tunnel, the one we had been burrowing for months. At first I didn't understand it. We were already making good coins sacking the carriages. What was the point of digging holes underground like vermin? It didn't help that the tunnel smelled like a troll's armpit. We reached the warehouse and walked by crates, stacked upon crates like mountains of wood. Mishara led me to the back, where a dozen legionnaires were unloading cargo too big for any box. In Shore's breath, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it. It was a skull the size of a carriage, with fangs that touched the floor. For someone who winces at the sight of cliff racers, the idea of this monstrosity soaring through the sky made my heart tremble, and yet, for the first time, I felt alive. For what better way to live than to fight a dragon? What better way to die? Now that would be a story even Sun would lend an ear to. Oh, trust me, I understand. You think the bones are special? You should see what this one found yesterday, Mishara said to me. Her grin was as wide as the hulls of your Vasker as she beckoned me further into the warehouse. Inside a crate, set apart from the others, was a cuirass of dragon bone mail. Mishara bade me to put it on, and I couldn't help but notice it was a perfect fit. In that moment, I thought of my Da. People called him a pirate, a murderer, and a thief. But he told me the Windstriders descended from the Dragon Guard, ancient warriors who fashioned armor from the bones of the dragons they slew. Still, my pride as a Nord wouldn't allow it. How could I face Sun wearing the armor of another's triumph? I could have the orc-forged gauntlets and boots from the skull, but the cuirass, that which held one's heart, must be earned in battle. My mind drifted then to the stories I heard as a youngling, of my great ancestor who strode through fire like it was the wind, wearing an ancient cuirass made of dragon bone. It was then that I knew my destiny. In his honor, I would claim it and fight until the day I reached Sovngarde. It's that same spirit that resides in me now. The others may be fine living in hiding, but a Nord is at war so long as he holds breath. What a valiant ode to his strength in combat, and his desire to please his ancestors. Well, he has a point. He never killed the dragon, and so he felt like he wasn't worthy of wearing the armor. But I feel that I am worthy of wearing the armor. I've killed multiple dragons now. Winter shins. I'll take that for later. Let's go, Lydia. Well, we've came what we were here for. We killed that leader. And we found ourselves armor worthy of a god. Armor made from bones of dragon. I shouldn't need any more armor for the rest of my days. This armor is so incredibly good and sturdy that I don't see why I should ever change it. It'll be rare to find armor better than this. But, Lydia, let's get off this mountainside. We've got a long way to go. It's now time to travel to Jurgen Windcaller. To travel to his tomb and see if we can find this horn. Finally, the day is beautiful and we've come a long way, Lydia. All right, here we are, everyone, near the western watchtower just outside of Skyrim, where we defeated our very first dragon. And we now have amazing dragon bone armor. Incredible dragon bone armor that will serve us well in the future. In next episode, we will get on our horse and we'll travel through the roads of Skyrim on our way to Jurgen Windcaller and his tomb in search of the horn that the Greybeards had summoned me to go and retrieve for them. So next episode, that is exactly what we're going to do. At the moment, we're going to save. And yeah, that's going to be the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed today's journey through Skyrim and our epic battles and adventures. Thank you all for joining me in this adventure, and I will see you next time.